Good morning. Welcome to the Bond Sunday morning services. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. You can get involved by calling 800-411-2663, 800-411-BOND, or email me church@bondinfo.org, church@bondinfo.org, and put your name in town concerning the subject matter today. Your questions or comment about what we're discussing today. And good morning to everybody here. All right, thank you guys for showing up. This year we're talking about trust truth. And so the year is winding down fast. We're almost there. Do anybody have any questions about, did we have an assignment for last Sunday?
No.
I told you guys to do something, didn't I? No?
Yes. Try not to judge for the week.
Don't judge anything as right or wrong for a week.
Yeah.
Anybody do that? Y'all judged everything, huh? Yes.
I did it, especially at work. I noticed that there's a lot of politics at work
Yes.
and backstabbing. But I noticed that whenever I went to judge something, I think kind of followed that rule, not
Right.
judging good or bad. It kind of seemed like it brought me to the present.
Yes.
Present moment. And I kind of did that for a week. But they basically just at work. Oh, but one time we was also at a church carnival, and I saw myself judging the people
Yeah.
for some reason, and then I came back to the moment. It kind of keeps you.
It definitely
brings you to
does.
the present.
Wow, that's deep. And the reason for that, because you can only judge when you live in the past or the future. And you can only live in the past or the future by living in your imagination. And so you have to judge when you live in those two false realities. But when you live in the presence where God is, you cannot judge because you realize you're not God. But he reveals things to you. You see it as it is. That is absolutely true, man. So did you judge your wife or something? You say you only did it when you're at work.
I noticed.
And you went home and judged your wife?
Well, yeah, I do. It was like hard to practice on her, but at work, I seem to have more anger or more resentment for the things I see at work.
Did you do it at home?
When you said that, when I got to work that day, I kind of wrote it down, and it was kind of like in front of me at my desk.
Right.
But I was able to practice it there, but practice it overall and everything, I wasn't able to do that.
Man, I wish I could get people to live that way. Then I wouldn't have to show up on a Sunday. Because everybody would be free. If you could learn not to judge. And the way you not do it, just stay out of your imagination. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Let me take this young lady first. I saw her hand and I come to you. Yes.
When I talked to him about politics, it gets really crazy. And I was thinking, oh my God, I can't trust this, man, But then I saw myself making that decision.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I can't make that decision. Just let me step back and
Yes.
trust God to guide me to do, in whichever way I should go.
Yes.
See that
It's nice to live that way, huh?
better, so much easier.
And see, that's why I bring these things up, because it's these kinds of things that God wants us to think about. He wants us not to worry about what we're going to wear, what we're going to eat, who we're going to hang out with. He wants us to be conscious of these things, because those are the things that are holding us back. When you're lost in your imagination like that, when you're living in the past or the future, then you're thinking on the wrong things, and it brings on doubt and fear and worry and all kind of stuff, and it makes your life tough. But if you could just be aware of that, it changes everything.
You'll be so skewed too.
Yes.
The other way. And then I think because of that, we were able to continue the conversation and it didn't escalate.
That's right. That's deep too.
Mm-hmm.
You can disagree with people then without having to fight about the disagreement, because you're not judging that person because they disagree with you. You're just having a dialogue.
Right.
Wow, what a nice way to live. Are you gonna, John? You need to practice that on your wife too.
Yeah, it's true.
At home, it should become a way of life to be conscious. One mind with God. And everything will be added unto you. Isn't that amazing?
It's hard to stay in the moment, to be able to.
Oh, you're
that way
saying
for
that.
the whole week when you're not judging. I mean, you easily slip back to where you
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Like there's no real consistency.
But when you do, you can just realize it and you're back in the moment. Awareness brings you back to the presence of God. That's all it takes. Now the pain, because you went into darkness, may still be there, but the awareness is back, but the pain would die later.
Okay.
You know, and speaking of pain, and one of the reasons I bring this stuff up, because I think that if I bring it up, it will help people to become aware. Something to think about, you know. One thing that I realized about pain, are you supposed to learn from pain? Do you learn from pain?
Well, I can see the pain, I can see where, hey, I don't have to be tripping on, judging somebody, because it is painful.
Oh, okay.
I could actually feel the pain, because I don't want to have to keep going over and over and over, feeling that same kind of hate, because it is painful.
Oh, okay.
But is it only painful because you resent seeing it?
Probably. People hate knowing that they're wrong. That's why it probably pain. But how many people think pain bring you to God? Only one?
I think so.
2, 3, 4. So if pain bring you to God, how many of you have found God by way of pain? Only one.
He's rescued me in those moments of pain.
He has.
I found him in that moment.
You found God through pain.
Well, I think so.
So
yeah.
only one person, you found God by way of pain.
Yeah.
And so, but all of you think that pain bring you to God, right? So
One form of temporary.
there are so many myths out there, huh?
But it can.
But why haven't it done it then?
We can't, because we don't stay there.
You don't stay in the
Because we're
pain?
familiar with our pain, so we think it's okay, to have it.
And what made you think that pain bring you to God?
Because
Where did that come
your
from?
well, just when your life is going along fine, you're not thinking about it. It's just when you start to get pain, if someone dies or something like that, or you have some crisis, then you start to think outside of yourself and think about a higher being and how it can help you. It's still a selfish thing, but you think about it.
But then how come it doesn't work then?
Because I don't stay there. I stay with the familiar
Oh, so you'll
pain.
come to him for a minute by way of pain, but then
Exactly.
you go away?
Yes.
You'll leave him when the
Because I
pain
don't
is
have
done?
faith. I just know he's there, but I don't have true faith.
Wow, this is so interesting. I know you said yes, but let me take the lady. You said you believe pain bring you to God, right?
Yes.
And then have you had that pain that should bring you to God?
Yeah.
Then why haven't you found him?
Well, you said bring you to God.
Uh-huh.
It's not saying have you found him.
But
It's saying
you're saying pain bring you to God, right? And how do you know that's true?
well, because it's just like she was saying. It's like you don't really try to find God until you feel a lot of pain. And during my pain or during meditation, I felt God.
And then he left after a while. When the pain is gone, God is too.
Well, it's not just pain, but I felt it during pain. I don't know about finding him, but I know pain does bring you to God. It does.
It does. Maybe I'm not understanding what you mean by bring me to God. Do you mean it causes you to go to God and say, "Oh Lord, help me"?
It causes you to search for him.
No.
It's really a selfish thing.
Oh.
You're just trying to get out of pain.
They're crying out
You're
to God.
asking for his help. to get out of
Right.
pain.
Oh, I got it. So what you mean is that when you have pain, you like, "Oh Lord, help me." But,
Please help me.
so it doesn't really bring you to God. It just causes you to cry out to God.
What do you mean by bringing you to God?
Oh, I thought you meant it brings salvation.
No.
No.
Oh.
Not. Obviously. not.
Oh, okay. So having pain cannot cause you to be born again. Like cry out to God and he will save you.
It can.
Crying out to God can save you if your heart is right, but
Have you ever cried out to God?
yes.
And did it save you?
You mean salvation-wise or at that moment, pain-wise?
Which one do you mean? For my understanding, which one do you mean?
I mean, obviously it hasn't brought me salvation, but I've cried out to him to get rid of my pain, really.
So and then he came and took the pain away?
Yeah, when it brought me to a certain awareness and stuff, it did take the pain away.
He took the pain away? And then he said, okay, I'll see you later, let me know.
He said, I'm still here when you want me, you know? When you're ready, I'm ready.
And so same thing happened for you?
No.
So do you believe that pain brings salvation?
I think it could be a benefit, and you could see that it's not working, why isn't it working, and question that, and maybe you'll get an answer.
Has that worked for you?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, sort of, but not really.
Well, in some episodes, like for instance, the person's always angry, and if you bring out something like, well, she says she doesn't like rules, okay? And so if I tell her, well, you have to do this because the water's leaking all day, it's gonna put up my bill. Or if you let the toilet running, it's gonna go up too. Before I used to react, when I used to talk, I used to see her reacting. Now when I tell her, she reacts, and I just like look at her and walk away.
Oh, and then you're
Feel
saying...
anything, but it sort of feels like boring.
Boring.
Because I didn't react to
Oh,
it.
okay.
It feels like real different.
So pain brings salvation? Bring you to
I
God?
think it's a benefit.
I'm loving
What's
this.
your question? Does pain bring salvation?
Yeah,
I don't think it brings
it
salvation.
brings you to God though, right?
Brings the-
Let me ask the question this way. I hear a lot of folks saying that pain would bring you to God. But I don't know now because of hearing what you guys are saying. I don't know as soon as you take her foot off the furniture. I don't know if... how come white people from the suburb come to your house and put their foot on your furniture? You see that? When they ride in your car, they want to put their foot on your furniture, on your car. I'm like, take your feet down. I lost my thought.
How about pain bringing salvation?
So I hear a lot of folks say, well, the pain brought me to God. But I don't know if they mean pain brought me to salvation by way of God, or they just went to God and yelled at him because they were in pain. I think that's what they mean now, right?
Most people are not
We're just
saved.
programmed that when something goes wrong, that we start automatically, crying, "Oh, God needs you now." But it's just in our mind because if it brought us to salvation, if we were in salvation, we wouldn't be doing that because we'd already,
Right.
the faith that would be okay. But we,
Oh, so pain doesn't draw you closer to God then?
no, it's a trick or mind play. We feel like it, but it's not.
Okay. Do you agree with that? You said pain bring us closer to God?
No,
Bring us to God?
no, that's not really, no.
You thought it did at one point?
No. Salvation, the way you get salvation.
Don't tell me how yet. But pain doesn't bring you there, right?
No, not really. It's
What's it-
suffering.
Suffering bring you to God?
It's the same thing.
No, suffering doesn't bring you to God. It doesn't bring you to God. No, it won't.
What's the purpose of suffering then?
Through suffering, you can attain salvation.
But that's the same thing, boy.
Not to God.
You
God
trying to
doesn't-
trick me.
God doesn't. What suffering does is it humbles you.
Yeah.
You can see your failings, and then that with a humble heart, you can see.
And how does suffering humble you?
The pain.
Because a lot of people, like when they're in pain, they say, "Oh Lord, come here,"
It's
and then as soon as the pain gone, they forget about God too.
the suffering that will bring you salvation is, I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
What am I doing wrong?
I don't know if I can handle this anymore. I'm dying inside. That's the kind of suffering that I'm talking about.
Oh, and that bring salvation?
It can. It doesn't do it. If the heart is not pure and if it's not committed, then it's not going to bring God. It only bring God if the person's true.
But before we get to God, we don't have a pure heart.
But with what you have, if you're
A wicked heart.
a wicked heart can turn.
Right.
If you forgive and you're sorry and you're truly sorry, you're not sorry for the pain you're in, you're sorry for what you've done. Because you could be sorry that you got caught. And you're going to jail and you cry because you got caught. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, I'm sorry for hurting that person. That was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. It was evil for me to do that.
This is so interesting.
That's
I want to get to another point too. Let me take this young lady, then I come. Yes, ma'am.
Well, oh, my son.
Right here. The black lady.
Well, I was just going to say, to me, that's just the highest level of selfishness when you're in pain or you're suffering and then you cry out to God.
Yeah.
It's just very, very selfish.
And then as soon as the pain gone,
You're back in
you forget about God and everything, right back in the same old mess.
yes.
But until today, did you think that suffering would bring you to God?
No.
You didn't think that? You heard that before though?
Years ago, I believed that.
Me too.
Yeah, years ago, I thought, oh, I'm crying, I'm hurting, look what happened to me, poor
Yeah.
me, ooh me, but not anymore.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am.
You know, I was gonna say, there's like, kind of like two different kind of pains, maybe more than two, but on my mind right now. And I mean, there's like a natural pain. I mean, just going under pain of labor, you're calling to God, when you're having a baby, you're calling to God, you have no choice. I mean, for me, I call to God. But the other pain I'm looking at is the pain like, well, I know I'm not doing something right and I'm still resenting perhaps, somebody or some incident or something that's happening, and I can see something going on, and I can mention something and and I'll still have that pain because I guess I'm not handling it right.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Well,
But that pain worries me because to me, that pain is the pain that takes me to my grave, and I don't want to feel that way. So I have pain, and I feel that kind of pain makes me call out to God for Him to please change me.
That inner pain you're talking
Yeah.
about, that conflict
Yeah,
pain
that
and
inner
stuff.
pain, that's,
Oh, okay.
that's mind-boggling, it's disturbing, and
It is.
yes.
It's disturbing. And you don't want to die with that pain?
No, I don't want to die like that, no, I ain't ready.
I'm glad this subject came up because what I realized from it, I have something else that came up I wanted to bring to your attention. I realized that the Christian way of living, a Christian lifestyle, is so easy, so simple that most people are making it complicated. The easiest thing in the world to do is live a Christian life. But it's real, real, real simple, and it's nothing that you think that it is. Everything you think it is, you should do it the other way. Because it's simple to live a Christian lifestyle. For example, pain doesn't bring you to salvation, but accepting what is does. When you can totally accept what is, salvation is yours, just like that. The pain is coming from refusing to accept what is. You're fighting against your own self. You're fighting against salvation. And that's what you're feeling. But if you can accept what is, it's like the example John gave earlier about when he didn't judge at work, he had peace in the moment. He lived in the moment. That's because he accepted what is. Because the more you let go, then God can just take over. And so if you're having this pain, it's because you're fighting. You're playing God. You're fighting against yourself. And then yourself tell you, oh, this pain is bringing me to God. And that's not true. You got to accept what is. Isn't that amazing? It's totally back with what we've been told. When you can accept reality, you shall be saved.
And that's something we really don't want to do. We want to accept our ideal of what it is.
Yeah.
Society said our ideal is.
The pain is coming from denial, from fighting back, from getting high, from running from the pain, from cursing out other people, from falling in love, falling out of love, from money, not having it and having it. That's what you're fighting. Stop fighting, you shall be saved. Accept what is. Because accepting what is a non-judgmental lifestyle. You're not judging anything. And God will come and save you, just like that. It's just like that. Isn't that easy? Let me take this one, and then I'll come back to you. Yes.
So it's like whatever your reality is at the moment, if, say, your work is slow or, you're not performing up to par,
Yes.
you need to accept that for it to change. I mean,
Yes, sir.
you're saying we're fighting because we don't want to accept that we're like, it has to get better, it has to get better. So always, we're not supposed to work towards it.
No. You're not supposed to fight against it.
Well, you can accept it, but still.
Let's say that your boss tell you next month is your last month here on the job. Don't fight against that. Just accept what is, and then you will see the next opportunity. There's another job, another opportunity waiting. But the moment you fight against it, you shut down the realization of the other opportunity that is right there. Because God is always looking after us.
So if you're always fighting
it's already laid out. But by you fighting against that, you're showing fear and doubt and worry, and you're freaking out. And now you don't have the faith to see what's right in front of you.
I remember you went over this before. When you accept your reality, then you can start to see the next step or how things can change. Until then, you're going to just be basically treading
But the moment you start fighting back, now you're fighting in darkness and you're creating more hell for yourself. Life becomes difficult.
Right, okay.
Because now you're walking by darkness and not by the light. But when you can accept without fighting, salvation's at hand.
Then you get better.
Yeah. Without a doubt, I'm a living witness. And for me to know this, anybody can know it. I'm telling you, but we've been brainwashed the wrong way.
Yeah.
We've been told these crazy things. Oh, pain. I had pain and I went to the Lord. And the Lord took away my pain and that was it. It's not true. That pain is coming from your will, your ego fighting everything, judging it, upset about it, overreacting to it. Let go, let God. You heard that phrase, let go, let God? You can trust that phrase. I don't know who made that up, but that's a good one. That make sense?
Yeah, it's something you need to remember. I remember we went over that before. It made a lot of sense, but then I totally forgot about it.
And as soon as you go out of the door, it's gone, huh?
I remember for a little while, but
Yeah.
I let it escape again, and I realized, start worrying about stuff and, constantly fighting against, okay, well, I can't be like this. I gotta, change things at work. And
It just totally makes sense, huh? To just let go. But, I'm sorry?
I was gonna say wisdom and time brings you there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let me tell you about wisdom and time. That's another old saying. That is right at hand too. I'm telling you, everything you want in life is already here, already there. Christ came and he turned everything around. He put it back in order. But you have to be of your Father, God, in order to see that order, live that order, right? And so the way you do it is let go of your father, the devil. And he's the one that makes you curse out folks and yell and scream and carry on, all in the name of Jesus.
one more thing. So to accept something, accept your reality, you just really have to just kind of come to terms with it and just continue doing what you do. Because I'm trying to figure out how to actually, accept.
That's a good question. You want to know, how do you accept reality, right?
Right, how to just accept it and.
Okay, Patrick wanted to tell you, and then I'll let him respond. But Patrick wanted to tell you how you really, and then this young lady wanted to tell you too, how you accept reality. Because that is the problem. People don't know how to just accept what is. If you didn't fight, you would not have the pain. No fight, no pain. It's so sad though, because people are suffering unnecessarily. And then you have these traitors coming around and then justifying your wrongdoing. Oh yeah, I fought and the Lord saved me. And you're like, oh yeah, I'll fight too then. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just trying to hold on to what you're saying, because at the moment while you were talking about it, I was saying, this works in any situation, every situation, no matter what. So it doesn't matter what the scenario is.
Right.
Even the example of her fighting, the water bill because the toilet's leaking.
It doesn't matter, whatever it is.
Be so inconsiderate, But, and, you know, all this judging them. You know,
Yes.
And because it goes back, but even judging them without a feeling, where, oh, well, she's doing it again. It's almost like a kid.
Yes.
You know, we're working with kids to say what it is as adults.
Yeah.
Because we're all just so inconsiderate. We're not really thinking, none of us. And it's like, I mean, there's where I kind of get lost. That's where I know I could go out that door and it's going to be gone, but, you know, because it's confusing. You
It's
know.
confusing.
But yet, I held on to it as long as this is, you know.
Right.
And I needed to, you know, carry me the rest of the way, you know, so that I can work on it. Oh, and one other thing, important thing. Once you have salvation, can you lose it?
No. Can you go, once you come out of your mother's womb, can you go back in?
No.
Once you go into salvation, you cannot lose it. Once you're born again, that's it. You're locked in.
Cool.
That's a good thing about it.
Yeah.
So all these Christians talking about, I was saved and then I lost it and then I backslid and then they were lying. They never had it.
How about, somebody told me that there's a scripture, and it says that a righteous man falls 7 times, or I don't know how many times. He failed 7 times.
You said somebody,
Righteous man,
I have no idea what they're talking about.
yeah.
I don't
Sounds
know.
like Proverbs. A lot of confusing stuff in there.
Oh, sound like proverb. A lot of confusing stuff in there.
Because I didn't understand it either.
Yeah, me either.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask my
don't.
question.
If I were you, I would say thank you for telling me that, but I don't need it right now. I got enough issues already.
Okay, Jesse, also, when I was telling you about not reacting
Yes.
to certain circumstances, you were talking about how this works on everything.
On everything.
Okay, could that also,
You saw me on that TV show Thursday, right?
right,
I did this show for the folks out there on Thursday. I'm on with 2 liberal women,
Right.
just nutcases. And then I don't know where that guy was coming from. I don't know if he's liberal or, but it was like a kid in a candy jar. You know, in a candy jar. But don't you go in the store and steal the candy out the jar? Oh, okay, in the store. The moment you judge yourself for the lack of character, pain comes and everything else. It's enough to see that you don't have it, and that's it. You're not supposed to judge your lack of character. It's enough to know that you don't have it.
how about when you see yourself?
Same thing.
When you see yourself that you're reacting, and then you see it, does that work for that too?
Yes,
Then you don't feel no pain.
that's right. Because like John told us already in the beginning, you guys were not listening. He said when he was at work, because his workplace is the hardest place to be, he judged it a lot. But this week, he did not judge it, he had peace. So that works for everything. So the answer is don't judge anything. Then you won't have pain. Because as you're judging, you're being judged. What you put out come back on you. As you judge, you're being judged. Your pain is coming from judging. How clear can that be? As you judge, you shall be judged.
If you live in the moment, you can't judge.
You can't judge. Because God is in the moment. He's in the now. He's here right now, right here. He's not in the imagination, the future, or the past.
And everything else is ego.
Everything else is ego. All lies. An illusion.
When you accept, you don't just stop doing whatever you do. You accept the situation for what it is, but you still, you still got to work. Say in a work situation, you accept your situation, but you still continue to do.
Let me give you an example. Real good question. He want to know, like, when you accept what it is, do you stop doing what you're doing? That's the question, right?
Right.
Okay. Let's say you're a drug addict. And I know you're not a drug addict. You're not a drug addict, are you? You ever smoke weed?
I have.
You have. Did you know he smoked weed at one point? You used to sell it too?
I told him to try it before.
No, I saw the gold chain, so I thought he was selling drugs too.
That's not gold.
It's not gold.
Look how that mama looking out for him. back off, mama.
Just the facts, sir, just the facts.
Let's say you're a drug addict, and you realize, wow, I'm a drug addict. You know what I'm saying? But don't hate being a drug addict. And then next time you smoke that next joint, instead of getting all into the joint and losing sight of reality, smoke that last joint and you would never want another one. If you don't get into it. Because when you're not getting into it, like, you know how you fall in love and so you fall in the joint? If you're not getting into it, it's not saving you from it.
It's not getting in.
Well, maybe let me
Right,
ask you a little more
it's
specific.
not saving you.
Okay, say your status in life, right? Where you are, you know you should be in a different place. And you have to accept, okay, this is my reality right now.
Right,
But I still need to go to work every day, and I want my reality to change. So,
Right.
you know, you're always taught to go work harder, go do
yeah,
this,
go to
that.
work.
Right. But that's part of
Oh,
the
excuse me, snorting.
accepting the reality. Okay, this is what it is. But you still just need to go every day and continue to work without, I guess, how do you not fight your reality there? I mean, if you try to change your status, you know.
When I used to have a janitorial service, and at that time I thought I was like one of the, you know, I had a little red car and a lot of clothes and women, so I thought I was one of the smart guys, right? And so I used to work for a hospital and doing medical transcribing and stuff like that, so I knew all these sophisticated folks. And then when I said, well, I'm gonna start my own business, I think I started a janitorial service, they're like, no, you know, why don't you start a transcribing business or something, because that was like putting myself down. But I was grateful that that I was allowed to see something I could do. And so, and then cleaning those toilets were awful. Have you ever cleaned toilets? And especially in women's bathrooms? Oh my God, it's worse.
Yeah.
They leave some very interesting things behind. They do.
It
look like-
day from a man's bathroom.
Huh?
I said women's bathroom is like night and day from a
Yes,
man's bathroom.
it is, man. And most people don't know that. They think the man bathroom is the word. But women leave interesting things behind. And in those businesses, it look like they leave them there for you to see what's going on. But I had a good attitude about it. Now,
Isn't that interesting?
that it wasn't what I wanted to be doing, but I appreciated the opportunity that God had given me, so I had a good attitude, and eventually He moved me away from that. But if I had been mad about it, judging myself about it, or worried about what someone else think that I look like doing it, I would have gone angry, frustrated, barely can go.
I don't mean what you're doing, like being mad at what you're doing. I mean just if you can be doing it better, you know, being more consistent, being more productive.
Yeah, once you accept what is, then the struggle of life fade away. So it doesn't matter what you're doing, it's now easy to do, no matter what it is.
So don't worry about the future, he's worried about the future, what he thinks he should look like or should be doing. He should just stay in the moment and do.
Right, and that's what happens once he accepts it.
Well, I'm saying, you know, if you're doing, if everything is, if you're creating a situation where you're not working hard enough, and then you accept, okay, well, you know what, or I am working hard, but the business is not coming. So you just accept that, but you continue to just do your daily routine, but you just have to not fight against the reality of it.
Yeah, don't be angry about it.
I need to
Just accept what it is.
every day. Just, okay, this is what it
It'll
is.
change by itself.
And just continue working.
You put one foot before the other one, and then it'll change. Things will just automatically open up.
Okay.
It really will. But you gotta really accept, you gotta let go. You gotta let go.
Just
Yeah.
know that you have the faith.
Yes. Yeah, accept it and you shall be saved. Don't fight. Your pain is coming from fighting.
Yeah, that's where you create a lot of stress for yourself when you are trying to make something happen rather than let it happen.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I'm telling you the truth
It
about
works so
this.
much better that way. Yeah.
Especially when it comes to your character. You try to change that, man.
You can't change. It's a spiritual battle. God said, and see God telling us all of these things that we're missing. It's a spiritual battle of yourself. You could do nothing. You can't change anything. Of yourself, you could do nothing. So why not accept what is? If you can't change it, and He tells us we can't change it, so that means accept it. Let's say that you get involved with a mean old woman. Well, a young woman. We've all had that experience, right?
Yes.
And women with men too, you know, the point. And you wake up one morning and there she is, all mad and mouth poked out, and she mean. And the best way to deal with it, you know what? I brought this on myself. I accept it, and then you can deal with it. But the moment you blame him or her for your condition, pain comes and all hell break loose. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You got to accept what is, and then God will do the rest. Because you're not playing God with your life, you can't change it. But you got to stay out of this illusion of your imagination. Your mind set you up to fail. Every thought you get is a lie. Every thought you get is a lie. The one that tell you you're wonderful, they're lying to you. Don't you feel wonderful sometimes? Your thoughts say, you're so wonderful. You look better than anybody else at the club. Don't you feel like when you go to the club, you look better than everybody else? And they're feeling like they look better than you because everybody all dressed up, thinking they're looking better. Everybody want to show up late so they can be seen. Anybody ever gone through that? Every ego is feeling the same thing. You at home getting dressed, like, yeah, child, I'm going to be looking good tonight. Everybody at home getting dressed thinking that. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. Accept what is, and you shall be free. Stop fighting. Give up, let go, and let God. Another thing that I wanted to bring up, I've been told a lot, and these people said that to me on the show this week, you can't judge another man's heart. You don't know what's in his heart. Anybody ever heard that? Yes. Is that a true saying or what? You don't know what's in another man's heart. That's true?
That is true.
That is true?
I think so.
Yeah. You think so too in the back with the red dress?
Yeah, I don't think you can either.
You can't judge another man's heart?
You can judge a situation, but not what's in another person's heart.
You cannot judge what's in another person's heart. And how did you come up with that?
I think you can judge the situation that you think they're in, and you assume that you know what they're feeling, but I don't think you can. You're not a mind reader, so I don't know if you...
You cannot judge another man's heart.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You see them?
Don't you just love all these sayings?
But you don't need to judge somebody's heart.
You don't, why not?
There's no need to.
Oh, why not?
To me, they're presenting who they are by their actions, so why do you need to judge their heart?
And where is their action coming from?
Hearts.
I can't hear you.
From their heart.
No, she said,
I can't hear somebody. Somebody got it, but I can't hear it.
I think it's like,
she said from their heart.
And so, if this action is coming from the heart, why can't you judge the man's heart? Why can't you know what's in another person's heart then?
I think people say
Yeah, 'cause
that.
all of a sudden, like, I heard of Obama.
I'm sorry? Let me, yes ma'am?
To me, I just get to the point where I could care less about their heart. It's just, I look at what they're doing.
But where is what they're doing coming from?
Obviously, hell if it's something bad.
And where's hell?
Where is hell?
Uh-huh. In the...
Oh, in the heart?
I think it's kind of a reason, like a cop-out. People, because he can do act a certain way and say, oh, but in their heart, they're a good person, so you don't.
Yeah, I hear that. Somebody can be cutting your throat off. Yeah. Oh, but in their heart, they're a good person. Yeah. Wow, what a good person doing cutting my throat off.
We just created that for us. So.
I saw a show this weekend, it was on 2020, where this guy was with this woman, and they had gotten married, and she was pregnant, and she ended up getting killed. And we were just looking at it, we were just saying, everybody thought this was a good guy.
Yes.
But in reality, he wasn't.
If they had looked at his actions and paid attention to what he was doing, they would have known what was in his heart, and she probably would not have ended up with him.
Right. So you're saying after you see their actions,
It is a lie that we don't know what's in another person's heart. We better know.
But do we judge?
Now, why would God
But you said
not want us to know what's in another person's heart?
Do we judge it though, or do we just see it? Discern it?
You see it for what it is. I guess it's true. When you see certain people, you know this person is, a evil-spirited person, or just, real mean, or, you can see that in a person.
Yeah. You could be in the presence of an angry person and pick up their anger. because it's coming out of their heart. That's what's it. And see, it's crazy to accept this idea that we don't know what's in another person's heart. How are you going to judge because you don't know what's in their heart? God doesn't want us to be left open like that, because evil works through people just as good works through people, and you need to be conscious of that so you don't hook up with the wrong person. What kind of God going to shut us down from the heart when evil is coming through there? That's up to them to repent. I'm talking about what happening right when they're in my life right now. But that's another saying that's not true. You can know what's in the next man or woman's heart.
But are you saying you can know, but to judge, that's different?
Good question. When they say don't judge, he means don't hate what you see in their heart. Just don't hate what you see about them. But you can discern, you can know what's in their hearts. But just don't hate what you see about them. That's the problem. And most people end up hating. And the only reason he doesn't want you to hate it because you're playing God. And then when you hate it, you become like what you judge. It'll get inside of you, and you become like that too. That's what the hatred thing. Don't judge, don't hate what you see. But you better discern what's in another man's heart. So don't be fooled by that. Yes, ma'am.
What if a person is coming from a very bad place, but he wants to change, and he's changed a lot, but he hasn't given up all his anger, and he reacts.
So when you say what if, what do you mean? What if?
Well, wouldn't you wouldn't judge him if he was trying to change.
Judge me, you wouldn't hate him.
Not even judgment, but say, I know his heart because he was wicked before.
Still is.
I don't know what you're saying. You said that he's not over it yet, right?
He's not. He's changed a lot.
Right,
A
but
whole lot, but he reacts. Not always, but he reacted one time very bad.
I wouldn't go about where I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Look, if he still has anger, then he's still wicked.
But this person goes to church and he thinks that he's changed.
That's where most of the wicked people are at church.
I understand that, but he's beginning to meditate and
Look, for now, when he is free of anger, then he'll be fine. Up until then, I will have a little space between me and that person.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
Yes.
But he could change.
We're saying you gotta accept.
That between he and God.
Him and God, and if he's trying to meditate and.
That's between he and God.
But I'm saying, I guess I'm trying to say that if a person is right there, trying to do right, and he still does dumb things, you still don't know his heart.
Yes, you do.
You do?
Yes, ma'am. Because evil people try to do good sometimes,
Okay.
but they still have a wicked heart. The heart has to change.
I see that.
They need a brand new spirit, a brand new heart. But my job is not to hate them for what they are, as I should not hate myself for what I am. You know what I mean?
Yes.
My job is not to change them or make them change. It's not to judge them, but it's to discern so I'm protected from them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because I said one Sunday, you can't trust an angry person.
Right.
You absolutely cannot trust an angry person. I don't care if it's your daddy, your mama, your sister, your brother, your wife, your husband, your friend. Don't trust an angry person. They'll change on you just like that. At the blinking of an eye, once you hurt that ego, they'll snap.
But if you're not saved, you're angry.
Yeah.
What?
If you're not saved,
It's like dealing with a
basically
drunk
angry.
man.
Whoever's not saved is angry. So everybody's angry.
Well, some people are born again.
Can you
Yeah, some people
have a
most
tendency
people
to
are.
misread that sometime in another person's heart?
Not if you're conscious. It would be revealed to you. Don't try to read another person's heart on your own. If you live where God is in the moment, He will allow you to see it. It's interesting. He will allow you to see another man or woman's heart, as you can see your own, and he will prevent you from hating that person. But he let you see it so you're protected from it. Because the devil can dress up and come like love. He can present himself like the light. It's like when you're dating, when you first meet, does it seem like love? You know, when you meet, wow. You go home, you dream about that person you met at the club last night. Can't wait to see him the next day and the next week. Isn't that right? It's like love. But then after that, everything changes. It's like getting a brand new job. Oh, how you like your job? Oh, I love my new job. It is so nice. Some wonderful people work there.
6 months.
Excuse me. You heard that right? Wonderful people. And a week or two later, you hate the job. You hate everybody on the job. Because Satan will present himself as the light, as love. That's why God wants you to be conscious so you're not deceived. Isn't that nice? So you can know another man's heart. Let me read something real fast and then I get to you. And I just want to put it out there. Matthew 12:35. It says, a good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things. And an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. And I can give you a perfect example of that. I hear a lot of parents say, I don't know why my child turned out like this. I'm a good person. Or somebody say, well, I don't know why the Joneses, I'm just using that last name, kids are so messed up. They're such a nice couple. They are a good couple, but the kids are all messed up. And I say to them, the kids are a mirror image of what the parents are. The parents are no good, the kids are not going to be no good. Because you cannot be good and produce bad fruits. Whatever you are is what your kids are going to be. And that's reality. So if you're good, you're going to produce good. If you're evil, you're going to produce evil. So that's another reason we need to be able to discern another person's heart so you know what you get into. These kids are coming from screwed up parents that go to church and read the Bible and praise the Lord and hallelujah. But in front of us, they look all holy, all nice, all made up. Behind closed doors, pure hell. Impatient with their kids, yelling at their kids, recreating the kids in their image, and all kind of stuff. You better know that. And don't let anyone tell you that you can't know what's in another person's heart. You can. And if that's not true, if you're a child molester, why do they put you in jail for being a child molester if they don't know what's in your heart? They say you can't change. They believe you're going to be, and so they set your life up to fail so you don't make it at all. They put you on the internet, they do everything to you. You got to wake up, folks, and realize what's going on. Yes, ma'am.
No, I was just wondering, can you point it out to people that are,
As long as you're not judging them.
Yeah.
Don't judge. Do it with love. Do it with a hope that they would see it and overcome. Yeah. But make sure you don't judge. Your heart have to be right so you don't hate them for what they are. But you better know what's in another man's heart. I'm on this show and I'm just laying out what's going on, right? Oh, you don't know that. But at the same time, they would judge someone else. They would say, well, Mr. Bush did this, Mr. Bush did that. I'm like, well, if I can't judge, why are you judging? The people who tell you that you can't judge are judging you and everything else come by. But they say, oh, you can't judge, but why are you judging me then? This is a spiritual thing, folks. It's simple. You got to reverse everything that you've been taught. You got to let it go. And go the simple path, that simple road, easy road. What do you think about this? That make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Had you thought about this before?
Honestly, no, not until today, until you spoke about it.
So it helped, huh? And see, that's why I put it out there so you think about it. People thinking about the wrong thing. You're thinking about the wrong things. Your focus is on getting love and giving love and getting money and getting this. You should be working, you should be earning your way, but your focus should be on what is right, things that are good and just and right. Then you'll come to know and you'll be free. Do you have anger?
Sometimes I have anger.
Sometimes? I'm sorry?
Sometimes.
And how did you become that way? You look so innocent. You don't look like you were hurt or fly.
My parents,
Yeah.
my family members and stuff.
So you became like your mother?
Not necessarily, I wouldn't say that.
You don't want to be like her?
No, she's not a bad person, but I don't think I became like her.
Don't you have the same attitude that she has?
People say that I do. I don't see it.
People say that you do?
Yeah.
So, I've never met your mother, right?
No.
And this is my first time meeting you, right?
Yes.
Your mother is impatient at times. She get angry at times. She's loudmouth at times. Right? Am I right about everything so far? And when you were a kid, you didn't like her being that way. You wish that she wasn't like that. You wish she'd be more patient and speak to you in the right manner, right? Isn't that true?
Right.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. And now you're like that, right? Loudmouth sometimes, impatient at times, right? I can't hear you.
Sometimes.
And get angry and go off.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
So you did become like her.
I guess you could say that then.
I mean, what do you say? You need to know this.
I just think it's like, little traits from her, but not, necessarily just like her.
Right, you're not as mean as she is yet.
You have to ask him.
It is so important that you know yourself, because most people don't want to be like their parents. They say, I'm never going to be that way, the way she treat me. But they resent it and they become just like her. And you become like what you hate. So as soon as you can accept that and realize, wow, I am just like her, the sooner you will overcome it. Because if not, you'll pass that on to your, once you get married and have kids, you'll pass that on to your kids too. And that's not what you want to pass on. But it's a spirit and it's being passed on, but you overcome it by realizing it and forgiving your mother for what she's done. She couldn't help herself. Just like you can't help doing it sometimes. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be yelling and all that at times at people, right?
Right.
But something else is making you do it. And then you blame it on them. Well, you made me mad. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
He said, uh-huh. So that is true already?
Yeah.
She yelled and carry on like that? Yeah. And you don't want to do that, right?
No.
You got to forgive your mother so you can overcome that. She has recreated you in her image. And she may not realize what she has done. She doesn't realize her mother made her that way. Do you know your grandmother, your mother's mother?
No, I never met her. She was deceased when my mother was.
Okay, but you met your mother, though. You know your mother. Then you know your grandma. But you got to forgive so you can break that spirit and not pass it down to your family. And so you got to admit that that's where it came from, that's what it is, and then forgive your mother for what she's done to you. And then God will take that away from you. So have you tried to tell her that she's angry and out of control and hard to deal with?
Yeah, sometimes I do.
And what does she...
I don't try to do it all the time, because she got to realize it herself.
Yeah, but you got to live with it though.
Yeah. But see, it's good because I don't react when she's mad, I don't react to it in a bad way. So
oh, good.
Yeah, it's not like fueling the flame or whatever.
Right.
So I'm just calm. A lot of times when she's mad, I'm real calm.
Yeah.
So.
But does she keep pushing you until she get a reaction?
No. She usually just says whatever she got to say, and then she goes.
Go sit down.
Yeah.
Is that true about you?
Yeah, I don't keep, just egging stuff on. But if I have to, if I have to say more stuff, I will.
Right. But if I have to, I egg it on her. Well, let go of your anger so that you don't pass that on to your family. You don't want to keep, that's why God keep giving us children, trying to get this thing right. So let go of your anger so you don't pass mama on to the next generation.
Right.
So you have to forgive your mother. Go to her, let her know what she did to you, and forgive her. All right, don't ask her to forgive you. Just say, Mom, I resented you for this, and I realize now that I become just like you, and I'm sorry for holding that against you. All right? And so, folks, if you want to be free, if you want to be able to live the simple life that I'm talking about, you got to let your anger go. You got to repent in your heart, not this heart. Is my heart on this side or this side? Where's my heart? This side?
Right there.
But this heart. And the soul of your belly. All right? So you got to forgive and you can live this simple life. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys too. Appreciate it.
For more information or to purchase a copy of this show, visit us on the web at www.bondinfo.org or call 1-800-411-BOND.